Medusa is just the lack of burst damage.
Yeah.
You see this DP and you've got Ice Blast. Right now, DP is actually not that threatened by Ice Blast because what's going to kill her? Like, unless Wraithkin gets a few items. Like, you're looking more at
Do they go
real
to
damage
Lina?
output.
I mean, they need damage. They need burst. They need.
You need something
kill
with more
threat.
durability, though.
Okay.
And or some sort of utility survivability, like a Yul's Buyer that isn't made of origami. Like, you got to have something that stands, because Vici are going to just run straight for you. They've got a very mid-game centered lineup. So
Well,
you either
you still do have the team fight advantage.
on TNC.
Yeah. You don't think
You've
so?
got if you hit your spell, sure, but it's way easier for Vici to disrupt what TNC wants to do than vice versa.
Okay.
Initiating on a silencer in a game where 3 cores are going to be in front of him looking to tank damage and spells is a tall task.
TNC taking their time here talking about this mid pick. Looks like they've made a decision as the players start to take
This is
their
where I
seats.
feel like you just bust out like something weird, like a Shadow Fiend or something.
I wouldn't mind
That's an
SF,
RML
actually.
class. It's an RML
SF to me
classic.
looks like maybe one of the better options playing into Silencer. It has the burst damage to actually kill people.
I think
skilled
you might
player
be
can
right.
win-
I
win
really,
mid.
it's a favored matchup against DP because you can't really threaten like you want to. If you catch a long nuke, then you actually just feed if you walk into the mid and the short.
All smiles. It is going to be the Medusa that Kyle talked about. It's a greedy pick, but you do have the team fight advantage to defend high ground. This is a decent TNC draft.
It also means at a certain point, like, you win the game, right? Now all the pressure is on Vici to accelerate the game state, get ahead, stay ahead, take objectives.
I'm always happy. Like every time this guy, I have a chance to put him inside of my fantasy league, I put him in my fantasy league. His performance is always good, no matter what team he's on. And in TNC, man, I just put so much emphasis on his influence in the early game, especially when you give him an ES.
Every single time I see him, I mute him because he spams a lot of these voice chat lines.
No, he's actually one, like, you know, I hate the voice chat lines in the middle of cards just because it makes it impossible to actually have a proper conversation. But him, I'll take it for him. What are you doing, gang?
He's trying to scout if there's a ward.
Okay.
It's pretty common, especially if you're playing Medusa. On a mid lane, you want to have that ward so the snake can bounce, especially on to secure the range creep, maybe even bounce to the hero and steal the mana.
Yeah, you need to come in range of the tier 1 tower for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they put the ward on bottom, so it's watching over the rune area and any kind of rotation off the off lane of VG. And VG do have their tri lane at the moment, aggressively down, looking for the creep skips. And Sven will be taking the hard farm on that lane. That leaves Centaur to go towards the safe lane against TNC's aggressive lane. And that this TNC lane feels pretty rough for anyone who walks into it. Like,
there's gonna be a lot of slow, a lot of kiting potential, especially in the mid game. You're gonna need to focus on. I mean, you don't want to focus on Venom wards. Also, skeletons, 5 gold. They also respawn. What?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong there. I want to see some frogs in chat. I mean, 5 gold. I mean, you really need to really commit hard to kill those skellies.
I gotta remember when I cast with you. You're all about the OS frog.
You're
all about like actually pushing Twitch chat to the next level. So brace for a voice to his chat mod. Moobot's gonna be going nuts on Lacoste's ass. Yeah, so mid lane's gonna be mid lane. It's like no kill potential either way. It's just stealing a lot of intel for Armel and giving him a good start for TNC. This top lane looks like DY and Paparazzi have now TP'd up, so they actually committed their TPs to do this. So if TNC want to switch the lanes up, they're able to do so. Gabby's just saying hi to Fade on the bottom lane, taunting as he will normally do. Ori actually really trying to get up in Armel's face, but that's not going to be successful. But Spirit Siphon, while you got him.
Yeah, on the bottom lane, you have a Centaur and the Rubik. I'm glad they swapped the lanes because there's a lot of kill potential. Just having a lift into Centaur stun. And Centaur's not the hero that you want to harass. You can all actually want to see if they harass him. They actually did. So they're just going to pump some charges on Retaliate. They need to be careful about it.
Yep. But at least you see the synergy that comes from the two heroes. Cold Feet working with the Wraith Fire Blast.
Yeah, double stun always feels good.
While up on top lane, DY kind of trapped in here with a gal going to connect. DY is going to go down. Tims gets the first blood. Paparazzi couldn't get back for the denial. And Cuckoo, you don't need points in Plague Wards when you go into this lane. Everything goes Gale as well as Poison Sting because it's that direct harassment against the melee hero Paparazzi. Keep him off the lane.
Yeah, they also pulled the lane to the side camp and collected the XP from it. So huge advantage already for TNC, especially on that top lane. Silencer is not the hero that you want to play from behind. Like usually, if you watch the game where Virtus Pro played, when Solo played it, he was diving. Like you want to get a kill, doesn't matter if you die after, you just want to steal that IQ.
Yeah. But it's the cool thing about Venomance, the way he functions. Like he went 2 points up in Sting, now hits the Gale as well. Like he doesn't have to commit abilities to turn around. So DY doesn't have that easy, oh, I've cursed you, so I'm instantly winning the lane. And Tim's, yep, he's got a fissure on the right line, and he just gets the kill with it. Cuckoo claims it while on bottom lane. Yang running through the tree lines. Gabby, more have you got to give? The Cold Feet and the Hellfire Blast. Revenge kill on bottom. Well, I say revenge kill. It isn't. It's just a straight up kill.
It's 3-0. There's no revenge.
Yes. So I got ahead of myself. I jumped through the episodes. It's season 8. Paparazzi, he's also going to be careful again. Tim's always go to his fissure, block him in.
He has
and
no
Paparazzi
TP.
cuts around. The Gale's going to connect once again, slowing him down. Tim's has that bonus damage just to bring in, so Paparazzi has to commit the Warcry, but he can't move. He doesn't have the movement speed to get away from Cuckoo, who's just going to get another kill and a Venomancer with momentum. No one can move into this lane anymore.
Yeah, this lane is done on the top lane. Paparazzi will need to move to jungle pretty quickly. Just need to get a couple of points in cleave because this lane is soon going to become unplayable for them. And okay, so they're going to rotate one of the heroes because it's pretty much impossible to do anything. Which means that bottom lane is going to get a lot of farm.
They're actually going. As, well, DY, Tim's fissure creates a space over on 3, Stormbolt. They're coming back over towards Cuckoo. A pick up and throw back. Cuckoo doesn't have the distance. He'll hit a 2-man Gale and tries to make a break for the tree line, but DY, as well as Fade, have that range damage, and Tim's let everything off he could, but they had to move an entire tri-lane up to that top lane now, which means Gabby gets space, and we've seen what happens when Wraith Kings get farmed.
In this game, he doesn't necessarily need to go for Radiance because you have always Medusa to rely on. He just needs to buy space. Maybe he can get a Midas. I love the Deso Blink build. Maybe Armlet throw into there. Just don't. If the game goes well for him, if everything is fine, he can still grab that Radiance because it's extremely good against the Sven. But the burst damage that you get from right-click build on Wraith King is, I think, going to be better in this game.
Cuckoo's trying to contest the pull. DY and Fade have just camped up here on the top lane now. Tim's holding the fissure. He knows he needs it in case Paparazzi wants to initiate in. And every time they Warcry, they're not as scared about the damage that Tim's is like could potentially do with the fissure. Because you still got the dot effect, so you've got time to walk it off. So fissure's almost that kill secure. 5-minute bounty runes are coming up, and already Ancient Apparition's there. Like he'll get both of the ones on bottom. The Gale from Cuckoo just pushing him back, but Fade grabs the one on top. So this is still a 3-for-1 bounty trade in favor of TNC.
Yeah, and this is the dream start for Earthshaker as well, because he has that Soul Ring, almost has Tranquil Boots. You don't need anything. You buy a Tome, and you get a Blink Dagger straight after, and you buy a Smoke after you get it. That's pretty much it. You get level 10 talent, 250 mana, you're good to go. You can play this game for 60 minutes.
Oh, that's a nice steal for Fade. Oh, I mean, sorry, steal from Fade. With the Mystic Snake bouncing forward from Armel. God, Cuckoo. He is such a pain in the ass. DY wants to do something about him. Tim's is waiting. He just wants to block him. Paparazzi. He's able to do so. And Paparazzi is low while the Ancient Apparition. There's a quick cast. DY, what more have you got to give? Ancient Apparition ticking out. Stick Charge giving some more life. Salving up quickly too. Fade's going to look for the Fade Ball. Can't get in range for it as DY is taking up an entire creep wave to get this to work. But Ari will move over. But he knows the Ancient Apparition's healed up. They just TP out in such a huge waste of a movement from Ari.
Sometimes the smartest moves in Dota start with just TP out.
The best offense is defense. And look at Gabby, like, okay, well, if everyone's up on top lane, I'm fairly certain I can summon my army of the dead and just force Yang out of the lane. He's even holding the point in case reincarnation makes sense.
He's already level 6.5 because they needed to rotate to the top, so he's getting a lot of farm on the bottom lane.
All that solo experience. And he is going to go for the Midas you were talking about. That's in his quick buy. And they have to fortify, but Yang, he doesn't want to move forward. He's so close to level 6, so when the creep wave goes down, he'll have it.
And just a casual stun. If he gets closer, he's going to throw another one. It's a 3 points in stun. I think he just committed to lower the cooldown on it.
It's more time for the catapult to attack.
Yeah.
When the creep wave doesn't get pulled off the tower, the catapult just gets more damage in. TNC's moving multiple heroes to the top. So they're centering up. They look underneath the Dire Observer. Paparazzi, here comes your fissure block up. Cold Feet, trying to slow up Paparazzi. It will trigger. Nope, he just got the distance away.
I would love to see 1 point in Vortex from Ancient Apparition. You benefit so much from it. I mean, he's gonna get it eventually in the mid game with the Venomancer. That's such a deadly combo.
Oh, they want to come again, but that Observe Water sees so much. And TNC will probably be working out. It's like they're reacting like they still see too much. So that sentry out of position, it only caught a sentry, not the obs.
Yeah, DP has her ulti up, but she's really low on mana. She's using the courier right now, probably bringing some mana items, clarities.
This feels very odd though, and Fate, Tim's had to hit the perfect fissure and he won't, not the tree line. But this has to be an absolute nightmare.
Oh, this is the dream.
Prophet.
This is what I wanted to say. She just picked up a bottle rune, the haste, and she can gank the side lane. Maybe even turn that into some chip damage onto the tower. So there's 3 heroes on top, but meanwhile, you can see Armel. He's already in this triangle, farming a lot of those stacks.
Yeah, but Death Prophet has no mana, then how is she meant to actually do that chip damage on
Just
the side?
get mana.
Like, I remember when Death Prophets had to max Crypt Swarm so they could actually farm stacks inside the jungle, and it feels like she's almost moving back into that, but she's so inefficient at farming that way. That's Paparazzi's job anyway. Fissures come out, connect with the Cold Feet, so Paparazzi chilled to the bone.
Paparazzi just using a casual stun to secure a couple of last hits. It's tough lane for him.
At least they have an escape now through Yang's Stampede, because he is getting solo experience in the bottom. Even if his net worth doesn't match that of Gabby's, it's about 1,000 being the difference. He is still getting that fast Stampede up, so they have either an engage or a disengage.
This is the power of a Centaur, especially once he hits level 6. Now they have 3 heroes on top. If they want to engage or disengage from a fight, they can always do it. Silencer's still not level 6, even though it's minute 9. He's probably going to get the dome for himself, and then they can start to make a move. The haste rune will be activated in 30 seconds.
So what's Ori going to do with it?
They need to try to fight around the runes and make something happen, because right now TNC is getting way too much, especially with Medusa being uncontested. They have... Look at this line of the wards that they just placed. They can see every single move from VG Gaming if they're not smoked.
Yep, but that's why VG smoke up, sending Rubik as well, Death Prophet towards the top. Cuckoo starting to plant down some of these wards. They're level 1s, so they will not survive long once they start getting attacked. Nice fissure. Tim's, he's actually going to block Yang in. He's going to get both the bounties on bottom. Armel stealing that illusion rune. Wants to turn around as well. Has he got support? Cuckoo's moving in, but Armel's taking so much damage with the Gale under the Exorcism. Ori just stays with him. They cannot slow him down thanks to that haste rune. Tim's, he's got his own stuns, looking to lock in Fade. Stampede's already being committed, and they've got all the chain stuns in the world, so Fade will fall to Gabby. He rotates into this mid lane. He doesn't have his skeleton army to summon at the moment. That's a big kill for VG. The #1 net worth of TNC falls.
Yeah, he already used the skeletons, and the Centaur needs to deal with them on the bottom lane. It's pretty useless to try to kill those skeletons because they don't bring you any gold.
Just more time to deal with it. This allows Fade just to hold the mid lane, which is nice for him. Looking for an easy ability steal. Now he is level 7 on the Rubik. Silencer has the tome, so Global will be appearing soon-ish.
Sometimes you don't want to pop that dome because others can see that you're level 6, so you're just saving it for a fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And bottom lane, they're setting up on Gabby.
He still has a Radiance queued up, but it really depends how this game is going to develop.
He's also still holding the extra point. Curse will happen. Gabby wants to just retreat back under the tower. ES is in the neighborhood. We'll already get our first Midas. It's, it's with our hand of Midas over on Sven. So VG Gaming are trying to slow things up. Or at least just keep the farm of Sven escalating. Ice Blast is coming in. Hellfire Blast. Tim has a fissure to also lend. And is that giving enough damage to kill off Yang? Not just yet. He moves up through the tree lines to shatter. If they had enough damage, it would do it right now on Global DY.
That's a really big global just to save a Centaur.
I don't think he was even dead, even if the Hellfire Blast connected. I don't know if Gabby had enough to finish the job.
Now, you can't kill a hero who has a bracer, especially the offlaners.
Well, that's a big blow. Goal strength's down as well because Paparazzi, he was farming up the jungle at the same time. Comes in and cleans up the rest of the bottom.
Yeah, it feels like both of these teams don't want to take any fights, especially since Global
Midas.
is down. Yeah, there's a lot of big ulti cooldowns on side of Vici. And Medusa, she just wants to farm. Like, she's 1,000 gold away from her Manta style. With that, she can pop, remove the Arcane Curse, Global Silence, a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. Seems like an easy game for Amel at the moment. But does that put pressure on VG Gaming to start adding pressure? You asked Death Prophet to start attacking side lane towers. She now has a double damage rune. Not that really helps her as much, but it's a two-man smoke up Sven as well as Rubik together. They're heading to the bottom lane.
DP ulti is up. They want to make something happen with it.
Ice Blast, committal, Fade's dead. You can steal death. Well, Tim's TP support doesn't want to come. Tim's has gone into the tree line, silenced up, begins his TP, then he is stunned. The Hoof Stomp is able to connect. So he'll go down in the tree line. And this will be the death of tier 1 towers on the safe lanes for both teams.
I feel like both of these teams are not afraid of taking it to super late game because you have DP. She's a monster in the late game, but at one point, like extremely late game, Sven falls off because of all the kiting potential, and he relies on a Blink Dagger to initiate, even though he still has a Centaur to close the gap with his ulti. It's gonna become a problem at one point. You're playing against all the skeletons, Venom wards, it's really hard to approach a team fight.
I'm also wondering if they have enough sustained damage. Like, you got to get through both the Deucer and the Wraith King. Wraith King's got a second life, and thanks to, like, the mana talent, Deuce has practically got a second life as well. So they need so much damage to continue through. Yang, oh, he's getting hit up. The fissure will connect, but doesn't block him in totally. Yang will just cut a tree and continue to walk out.
Yeah, even the Veno has Hand of Midas right now.
Yeah, we got 3 Midases on the field. One on the Wraith, one on the Veno, and one on the Sven.
Who says the Sven weirder, you or me? Say it with Z, I say it with W.
I don't know. Like, I actually picked it up because I kept watching. It was I think it was Muppets, and it was the Swedish Chef. And I remember he had someone come on the show, and his name was Sven. And that's it. Like, so many of the weird ways that I say things is actually just from the way I heard it as a child, and I never, ever knew to correct it. I was in Australia. Who's going to correct in Australia? No, not me.
And you're isolated on the island, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
it was Prison Island. Not even Gilligan could get to us. Paparazzi trying to battle for the top bounty rune. He's able to claim it. Tim's gets the fidget block off, but TNC feels something is wrong. VG Gaming aren't showing enough. The bounties will be taken off bottom, but it's inside the mid where the damage is being done. Venomans have fallen so quickly. Not what they were searching for.
They don't have any kind of mana burn on Vici's side, but they can steal the snake with Rubik, and this could maybe cause some problems. The Wraith King in the mid game.
Well, Rubik got the range ready. I believe he has an Ether Lens completed. So he's got that distance to work with. I also saw a Blink Dagger arriving on the Centaur, so the stun initiation's coming up from VG Gaming. So no longer having to just rely on, 1, haste runes, and 2, the initiation of Stampede. They can just use the Blink forward.
Yeah, you can see
catch out.
Wraith King still saving money for his items. If he wanted to take a Blink, he would have bought it already. But if he can get to that Radiance, it's still the best item you can get on a Wraith King because the double life, the miss chance.
Yeah. Seems also very problematic. Like, Sven doesn't want to build into an MKB. At least they can get BKBs, but Death Prophet doesn't need it. It's just problematic for VG during fights. Sven's already finished an Echo Saber, 16 minutes in, combining with his Midas. So the damage output's going to come thick and fast.
Yeah, once those ultis are up, I feel like Vici will want to take a fight, especially because they still didn't take a tier 1 tower. And with DP ulti or Sven ulti still being up, they can go into the Roche pit so easily if they get a pick off or 2.
Yeah. But they have to be so mindful of the Ancient Apparition. We saw Clockwork in our earlier game, like scouting out the pit, but Ancient Apparition of Vortex can scout it out, and Ice Blast can cause a lot of problems if VG commit.
Yeah, a lot of overtime damage with that Radiance, Veno, and AA ulti. Look at what Fade is stating.
I was joking about this with you at the very start, and because I play a hell of a lot of Veno, and playing against Rubik is the worst thing ever. Because your push power you get, he steals Plague Wards, but they carry the Poison Sting attack. So it's very, very annoying with a Rubik stealing Plague Wards. It never used to work like that. They actually changed it a long time ago.
I was kind of glad when Jack moved from talent to team manager because he was the only annoying Venomancer that I had to play with, and now I have to deal with you as well. I mean,
I'm just explaining the concept. Yeah, hey, it's a good hero. It's just very misunderstood.
It's one of those heroes who's really annoying, and a lot of people in the community probably hate to play against him.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't that make him great to play?
Yeah, well, you use Gale and that's it, then you laugh your ass off.
We're talking about techies right now, aren't we? Yeah, he's great to play. And yeah, you can hit Gale and laugh your ass off. Goodbye, EU. AU. Paparazzi just triggers God's Strength, gets a quick and easy kill. But like you play a hero to get in the mind of the other team, to stop them from playing the style of Doe that they want to play. Yang has to stampede away from Gabby. He's got Hellfire Blast off cooldown in 1 second time with the Phase Boots and Haster, and Gabby ain't giving up this chase. The Undying Minions are trying to keep up with their Lord and Master. There is no crit. Yang's getting back to the tier 2 tower. He actually survives.
Wraith King farms so quickly. I mean, look at him. He farms almost as fast as Sven. He actually has more net worth at this point.
Yeah.
It's only 100,
barely.
but still. Because of all those skeletons, you just need to have a good vision, and they're going from camp to camp.
Meanwhile, Venomancer just builds a wall of plagues. There's nothing you could do to break through, but that's where it's cool to be the Rubik, because you can steal the Plague Wards and you get that push power. So you can actually establish an area of control on a lane as a Rubik, which you normally can't do. Like, your one nuke and the creep wave's gone, great. But getting vision, that's the power of a Venomancer. Plague Wards on every single high ground, and Rubik just should adore that. And it's the easiest thing to steal, because there's no way you're going to be Galing or Novering at any other time. Like, you Gale so he doesn't steal Plague Ward.
Or
no.
What if you ulti right after so he can't steal it? That's so
stupid.
That's 50 IQ play right there.
Silencer steals a little bit more intelligence from you, then maybe you'd make such a play. Steal it directly from the players. Well, this top tier 2 tower is in a world of hurt. You bring both Wraith King as well as Zeus towards the lane. There's only one choice for VG Gaming. Come to a different one. Armel throws out the Mystic Snake, cleans up the creep wave, and VG Gaming, their push just disappears because, well, the army of the dead are doing the work up on top.
Yeah, the bounties are spawning. Armel, oh, that's a huge steal. This is the best rune you can get on DP.
Spam, 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 spam. Crimson Guard completed for the Venomancer. So is TNC starting to group up and push now? Do we start seeing all that farm that Armel has managed to accrue? In 100 gold, he's got Skadi available. It feels
they need
like
Skadi.
It feels like was it 5 minutes ago? He's saying, "Oh, VG Gaming, now it's their time to be active." Nothing happens. Now TNC have their timings. What happens?
With that Skadi, you can just it cripples Sven so much in a team fight. It's extra slow on top of everything they have right now.
It doesn't care about BKB either.
Yeah,
which he just finished.
I feel like it's go time. Shaker, I didn't see his items for quite some time. It's a 21-minute mark. He should have his Blink Dagger.
Oh, he's hiding in the trees. DP does have the defensive Yule Scepter. She's actually saving up for a BKB. Could have at least bought the Ogre Club, have a little bit more life in her. And no early Aghanim Scepter build up either. Something to note for the Death Prophet. The fact that she's feeling way too pressured for the magical.
Man, Gabby is so farmed. This is insane.
Blink. He's looking for a target, but so is Paparazzi. So where's the target? Do some moves forward, not the one you want to go on. Gabby's not the one you want to go on either. Like, Ancient Apparition or Venomancer are the only two, but even Venom with Crimson...
It's so hard to get to him, because you have these two frontliners. You said it yourself, the Wraith King has another life because Medusa is so tanky with Scotty and Manta style, you're basically playing 5 versus 7 at this point.
Unlike 5v4 matchups. Oh, Observer Ward's up on the hill, but here's that Plague Ward. Target the sentry. And if VG can't keep their vision up, then how do they hit the back lines? At least they have a double damage room sitting in the river, but TNC, they're 3-man smoked up, but they're losing the tier 1 and tier 2 tower without any kind of contest. They burned smoke, they were popping sentries, and they still never found the opportunity. I can't blame them for not going in. If they went in on either of these targets, the front line, they've lost the fight.
TNC is playing so good right now. They're defending all of their towers. You could see when they wanted to trade tier 2 tower, VG Gaming was pinging tier 1 tower on mid. Medusa TPs, just uses a snake and still defends it.
Yeah. You know, this is why Heen was feeling so comfortable as he's sitting there in the drafting seat.
Medusa.
Everyone from TNC's laughing, and the Pal's like, oh, can they go Medusa right now? It looks really good. This could really work. He's like, we win Veno lane. And we win Veno lane, which means that we win Wraith King lane at 4 minutes.
Yeah, and
we just, they can't contest mid lane against, like, if they can't move supports over. So, all right.
I didn't even mention the level of 15 on Medusa. It's so hard to fight with these heroes if they don't have mana. Once you hit it on a Centaur, he loses 50%, maybe 45. I think it got nerfed by 5%. Thanks, Ice Frog.
Lay off! Leave Ice Frog alone!
No, I actually sent him a message about that mana steal. He said, yeah, you're right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But I expected a bigger nerf, to be honest.
Did you pass on Nahaz's double damage against Roshan's and my desire to make Roshan an actual pit?
I only talk with him about smart stuff.
Snap. Oh, VG are grouping up, but they smoke right underneath the Radiant Observer Ward. TNC have so much information for this, and Tim's, he has the Blink Dagger.
Let's see that
around the
global.
back, they jump in. If they just hit the Nova right now, this will be enough. Global Silence kicks in. There won't be a Nova, but Venomancer does have buyback available. The Fissure makes it difficult for VG Gaming to get in closer. Veno holds off. The tier 2 tower died in mid lane. That's the last remaining tower that went down. And what does VG get? They burn Global, they burn God Strength, they get a kill on a Venomancer, and Gabby, he's going to get a revenge kill into Fade. It's support for core, but you'll take it. Because this now opens up Roshan. Rubik's dead for 50 seconds. Oh, ish.
Is there any DD runes? Nope. There's an Arcane rune. Someone's pinging it out. It's on bottom. DP is going to pick that up. So I feel like VG Gaming will still try to contest it.
There was one DD rune. It was already consumed by the Death Prophet. But Gabby, he's copying a little bit too much damage. This is not exactly the way they wanted to go down. Armel may have to do something about this, a.k.a. take aggro. There we go. Now switch it over so Gabby can get his life back again. But VG aren't contesting this at all.
Yeah, it seems like Silencer stole some of my intelligence as well when I said that they're going to contest it.
Hey, we can't always be Kyle. I mean, right.
By some, I mean 3 digits.
You're fine. Maybe it's because you're in proximity. Hi!
So Sven's not even bothering trying to get a BKB. I mean, not a BKB, a Blink Dagger, because he knows that it's so hard to actually close the gap against the Venomancer and his wards.
It's going to be worse now. There's a 4-staff on the ES that's going to kite him out. So even with this Daedalus, I don't know if Paparazzi can inflict any level of damage in. The Stampede is going to have to close the distance. Aggressively used every time. Deuce is now building into a butterfly. So even if you do close the distance, again, you have that problem of hitting your target.
Yeah. We were saying 7 versus 5, but now it actually is, because they have Reincarnation on Wraith King and Medusa has that Aegis.
They're coming up. VG Gaming will lose a lane of Rax here, unless they can perform an absolute miracle defense. So the TPs begin. There's pressure on the tier 2 tower on bottom. Phase only going to steal the Hellfire Blast, but of course he doesn't care about that, because like he knows you'll get that every single time from the Wraith King. As the army gets summoned, BKB from Wraith King. It's there. He doesn't want to burn it just yet. He's still got the Reincarnation. Armel's focusing down the range tracks. Another stun connect from Paparazzi. Ice Blast moves for Paparazzi. He needs to back off from this one. The BKB offers that protection, but now Gabby goes to work, and Tim's hits the Echo Slam into the back lines. You have your Exorcism up, but look at VG Gaming. Stampede and retreat, but they kind of forgot someone. Never leave a man behind. Ori wants to continue to fight, as he does have all the ghouls up in the air. Yang hits
another
the 4-staff. The 4-stars connect, but finally the Aegis Immortal will break. So many abilities being burnt, and they're ready to fight once again. The cold feet triggering onto the Centaur. He slowed down the Scar. He's doing his work, and the damage output from this Doozer is so high. Gabby will jump in and finish off the Centaur. Buybacks available. They'll lose their range racks here. What more has VG got left in the tank? TNC had just outlasted them. They're an Everlast.
DP popped that ulti with Arcane Rune, so she's gonna have it faster than usual, but I don't think it's enough. You can see Paparazzi already being outside of base, trying to get some farm. Raid King, his ulti is up.
Yeah, Reincarnation's already back, so he doesn't care. They take the lane of Rax. Sven's pushing mid lane, but the TPs are already beginning. It's Cuckoo who's looking for the defense job, so just make sure the tier 1 stays alive. And on bottom lane, 3 creep waves will go the way of the Wraith King. He will spend money on the AC.
This is tough. Really tough game for Beachy, Toby.
Yeah. It's a nice overall, like, laning from TNC. A Deucer that never really gets challenged, a Wraith King that doesn't get challenged either, and a Venomancer lane that actually can find kills just because it synergizes perfectly with the AA and the ES influence again. Like, yeah. I feel like it's so difficult to ban out against Tims. You can give him either of the ESs, and he'll still cause problems all across the map.
Yeah, and I love the build on Venomancer. Just the Hand of Midas and the GPM to get himself more gold, and now he's building into these team fighting items. Crimson Guard to mitigate some of the damage from Sven. It doesn't block the damage from DP ulti, sadly, but a 4-staff, and they have another 4-staff, so it's such a great item in this game to kite. If Sven initiates, if Centaur blinks in, you can always just force someone out. And even Medusa has one queued up.
Look at me. Hey guys, he's taunting as he walks up the hill. The reincarnation
Sven has no mana.
Armel's ready to fight, and now, well, then pick him up, throw him back down again. Maybe they have the damage output to get the kill. They do. He's actually down with no buyback available. Gabby, overconfidence is your weakness. He needs a little bit more faith in his friends as TNC try and retreat back out, but now there's 2 heroes without buyback available. You'll commit huge abilities for sure, but this will be a tier 1 tower and 2 big kills that are actually confirmed for VG, not just reincarnation.
We saw this kind of a mistake from VP yesterday when they climbed the hill.
Ice Blast?
At the 10-minute mark.
They're actually looking to... They're not looking to fight this. No, yeah, take it back. Yeah, sorry, VP?
Yeah.
10 mark? Walking
climbing
up the hill
with no vision whatsoever can always be so deadly. Even though Earthshaker placed a really nice Fissure to block them off, Wraith King still died.
Mm-hmm. There was a discussion, though, about that, which was because the coach of Virtus Pro actually came and said, like, hey, guys, like, you know, we probably would never have made that mistake if we didn't have to start and end the day. It's a rough schedule. It's rough to keep your focus. And we have to keep in mind that TNC and VG Gaming, they're walking the same path today.
I feel like TNC just need to survive through initial burst. If Medusa can pop the ulti and they disengage, so some of the exorcism time is used and God Strength, there's no way they're going to lose a fight because BKBs will be down and then they're going to start kiting with all the slow AA, Venomancer. It's going to be tough for VG Gaming, but they're not out of this game at all.
Yeah. They just need to hit their timings right. Yeah, it gets more and more difficult. When Armel finishes up a Hurricane Pike, he's got the pushback. Tim's initiation as well. It's not doing as much damage as you'd expect to do, but it's just more of a control time. It buys time for Armel to start hitting hard. And he's hitting for 255 a pop.
They could use Lotus Orb. Lotus Orb on Earthshaker would be so good here, so they can have a counter initiation if the global is popped.
Well, Venno can do that if he wants to, but oh, you mean actually to buy it on ES?
Yeah. I mean, someone else can just buy it. Venno can pretty much buy any item in the game.
Just give him a minute on the Trinity camps, and you'll get the money back. The 4-staff is now done for the Deucer,
yeah,
but
that's a third 4-staff. If you buy 4 4-staffs, you just instantly win.
I should have known this. This is
mandatory.
This is the cheat codes for Dota right now. 4 staffs. Had to be the magical 4. So Wraith's pushing in the bottom once again. They just want to make sure there's no shrines left. No out of positions for VG Gaming to function on. And if they push the bottom lane, the top lane will always be pushing back out again. The army is just killing the shrine almost by themselves. Because Gabby went for the ×2 spawn skeletons.
He's not afraid because so far Armel is playing really well, and the Mystic Snake was not stolen, not even once in this game.
Oh, there's your Aghanim Scepter from the Death Prophet. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen the stolen Mystic Snake actually hit Gabby. I think he's had it a couple of times, but he never holds it long enough. And MKB, man, Paparazzi's actually found a hell of a lot of farm across the map.
We're lying, Toby. That's a stolen Mystic Snake.
Yeah, well, you lied. I'm not jumping into the same boat with you on that one. I gave you a way out.
Okay, so this is the first one.
It still hasn't hit a Wraith King. That was at least the get out of jail, the fine print on the contract that I was giving you.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay, that's great. Venom will deny the tower.
All right, he made a one mistake. That's acceptable. So Sven has a full MKB to counter the butterfly on Medusa.
And now needs to build into the Assault Cuirass as well. Like, they need to get through, like, well, everything the TNC has to offer. Because the AC just got completed over on Wraith King. He is beyond beast-like. 30 armor on the Medusa.
Yeah, Wraith King, he turned off the Radiance, but now he has an AC, so while they were smoked, so they should know something is up because they can see the AC on the enemy creeps.
When you try and be stealthy, you just kind of forget you're wearing bells.
Yeah, but during the time when Vlad's was like the best item for the offlaners, a lot of those initiating offlaners put it in the backpack when they were hiding in the trees.
You would think like that kind of like if it could be a blind buff.
Keep jamming.
Found him. Here comes your Ice Blast. Ori, he's going to walk straight into it and he knows it too. The chill will come onto Yang. There's your first 4 staff down. The global silence has been triggered. They need that Stone Gaze. They also need Dusa to stay alive, but they bring her down almost a minute and a half on the sideline. And Paparazzi putting that damage to use. Gabby, he'll get his TP out into the cover of BKB.
The Roche just spawned.
The Vortex is up.
No,
it doesn't.
I'm lying.
Does it see? It doesn't actually see.
Okay, it did. I'm just ahead of the time.
And they can instantly put that exorcism to work. Cuckoo planting the Plague Wards down. Any extra information, but no Dusa for a minute. But there is no ultis from VG Gaming. They have absolutely nothing. With a Blink Dagger from Venomancer, he can get himself in the front lines, but that's why they're trying to get rid of these damn Centaur illusions. They're seeing too much. Even the curse from DY. ulti is there. If you combine it with the Nova Paparazzi, even if he gets the Aegis, he'll end up popping. And he's backed up. Ori's, they've lost the damage because they don't have the Exorcism spill popped anymore. The Vortex is seeing them more. There's your Nova. Here comes your AA Blast. It's going to connect over on Yang, and Tim's hits the Echo Slam, working with Gabby to find the kill. Roshan killed him by the die. Paparazzi, who's got his Ori. He picked up the Aegis, the Immortal. They've got the kill already onto the ES. Gabby wants to stand his ground here. He has Reincarnation with the help of DY, attempting the TP out. The damage is enough to get the kill before he can complete that. But now they turn their attention with the Fissure. Gabby, can he get out of the pit? Yes, he can. Forced up, but the Exorcism Spirits, they follow through up. The Cuckoo with the slow on Ori. They haven't done yet. Tim's, he has the Fissure available in a bit. And Ori up the hill. He'll get away. They've got defense problems.
They're
and VG double bought back.
Protecting this Aegis and the cheese on that Prophet. She's level 21.
And the bounties.
They were hesitating on side of Vici because they did not know that Medusa has no buyback. So they were being really careful. Also, their positioning was good. They got hit by ulti from AA and the Veno, but it's still not enough. Also, Sven dealt so much damage. After Earthshaker blinked, then he just disappeared right after.
That's that unstoppable power of a Daedalus and an MKB all together. Still cost heavy buybacks on VG, and they have their big ultimates back anyway. So it's not as bad.
They needed to use more 4-staffs on Medusa there, because once she's lifted, she's done.
I wonder if they even had any like in range. Alright, so we increase the Nova duration. Hurricane Pike has now arrived for the Dusa, so she got at least better attack range, because she just got the 4-star before she got the Dragonlance. Nice Observer one on bottom to work with the creep wave pushing out. So TNC understand there's 4 heroes from VG Gaming on bottom lane.
Even though it's a 7,000 net worth lead for TNC right now, it doesn't mean anything. It's if you're asking me, VG Gaming has an upper hand right now.
Okay. Well, Do we want to ask you again in a second? Paparazzi running around. He's trying to juke out every bit of damage, but it won't happen. Dead for a minute and a half.
Have an upper hand if Paparazzi's solo feeding on bottom. Like, his team was nowhere near him.
I swear, Caster Curse has got a lot more prominent. Like, it's just the last 6, like, actually, since OG 1 TI, like, Caster Curse has just reached whole new levels of contagious. Well, TNC's going to push in the bottom lane. They can force the buyback on this Ven, and that'll be huge just to have his death timer there. So if they can kill him off, and that's just, it's going to cripple him. And the top lane's pushing in as well. So VG Gaming can get split. They won't care about the damage to the tier 4 towers if they can keep this bottom lane alive. But they can't have both of the side lanes going down. The Plague Ward wall is already being prepared. Greaves is completed, so Venomancer doesn't worry as much about that global silence, but there is no global silence. It's on cooldown for the moment. Now, damage into Wraith King, however, really does hurt. It's a good double fissure. Tims thinks about jumping in deeper, hitting the Gale on Ori, but they've got the Crimson Guards. The protection's there from VG Gaming. Gabby, he'll summon the army of the dead to do his dirty work for him. This Death Prophet.
Aghanim Scepter on DP doing so much work.
They still may lose the tier 3 tower, and the tier 4 tower's getting attacked in the back lines. The Plague Wards will actually end up killing off that tower. In fact, Armel's reaching it with just his normal hero. That's a nice rune in the bottom as well for Armel, an arcane rune for him. Gabby, maybe he okay. Oh, yeah, sure, he'll take it himself.
Caster's Curse coming through.
No, Gabby's greed coming through. It was definitely a hell of a lot better for the Deucer. Unless he dies within the next few seconds for his reincarnation. But they need to push.
He's lowering the cooldown on his aura, so he's life-stealing more, just kidding.
Yeah, that's I know my mechanics well enough. You can't catch me on this type of stuff. Sind used to do that crap to me all the time. It's like, hey, Toby, do you know this works this way? I'm like, wait, what? Does it? No, it doesn't. VG Gaming looking for a fight, smoked up. Aghanim Scepter freshly on the Ancient Apparition. He'll really like to hit these hard. And look how far back he is. He's all the way back in the fountain, the max radius he can possibly get.
Look at these skeletons. Now they're gonna respawn. Like, he needed to silence those just to get some extra procs.
Okay. When you have to silence skeletons that give you nothing. That's a sad life. Well,
500 gold just by killing Venom wards, but we don't know which team. Is it combined?
It's both. Like there were players from both sides on that, because the Rubik's been putting them down as well. Like you see, Wraith King has claimed a couple of them. Was like, wait, hang on. So total shed. Smoke up from TNC. Moving around. Bottom lane's already pushing in hard enough. There's that Lotus Orb you're talking about. It's over on VG. The Rubik was able to afford that. Ori. The 40-minute bounty rune. One quick observe ward. They see Yang. Where's that Ice Blast? The connect is coming in. Tims gets the perfect hit. It's going to connect over on Yang, so he's chilled up. No regeneration for him, but with the global silence, it's allowing VG Gaming to get the counter initiation with their BKBs. They stand their ground. Wraith King doesn't really have much more to give. He'll end up dying, burning the reincarnation, but he's lost his Deucer. Buyback kind of has to be expected if they want to have any chance to win this fight. The Fidget from Tims will end up cutting it out. Ori is caught on the wrong side of the Fidget, so now Gabby can find his hit-ins, but what if they got the Vortex? It's making it difficult for VG Gaming to get back down to him, so they just push forward and hit down the Deucer. This will be huge. If Armel goes down, VG Gaming may just take this. If they can put him in the grave for so long, DY is dying to the illusions. He can't move through the Medusa illusion, so say goodbye to your silencer. And now TNC turn their attention over towards Paparazzi. Gabby wants this. Here comes your Ice Blast, but it flies high while Gabby runs low. Tims can let the Fissure go. The Lotus Orb won't protect him from this one, but they still need to kill off Paparazzi. That's why Tims jumps in. He gets the chain stun in, and they find that kill. Then Gabby doesn't want to end there. Fade has to die, but Fade uses the stun of Gabby to get that knock on.
For a moment, it really looked bad for Armel. He was caught in a really bad position. Fade.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a certain death for him.
Yule's up. Nothing is ever certain in Dota, but that one's pretty certain. 5 heroes up from TNC. They need to push. If there's a buyback, they need to force it, and the only one that's there is Vents.
I love how they high-five the G's, the Sven, and he committed to trying to kill Medusa, but they used the Force Staffs really nicely to push her out of the position.
They used the Force Staff to push Ori in right on top of the Reincarnation. The buyback's already coming from the Sven. Ice Blast, perfect fissure. So the Ice Blast, remember that's an Aghanim's buffed up one. Paparazzi and Yang don't want to get into the engagement. But they hold the base. But it costs money as Sven.
No tier 3 towers left, and I think they took one of tier 4s as well. They're going to check the Roche. Fighting into Roche pit for TNC, they're going to have the vision with Ice Vortex, with AALT, or just some Venom wards. Oh, a casual double damage spawn.
I'm liking this from Amel. He's going, actually, it's E-Blade build for Cuckoo. They've got to stop Sven from attacking. The BKB duration should be pretty damn low by now. Abyssal Blade to arrive for the Wraith King, so they actually have some level of that magic immune piercing disable. And you even have a bottle for the Dusa, so she'll make sure she's got that for the right time.
If BKB is active on Sven, she's going to use it, when I say she, I mean Venomancer is going to use it defensively.
Is Venomancer a she?
Nah, he's not.
You didn't even pull that kind of stuff over my eyes again, remember? Dire's scanning Roshan. They're thinking he may be up yet, but we've got a spawn timer. Looks like it's going to be probably about a minute, judging by how fast it's moving. Fresh Vlads for the Centaur smoked up fight the VG Gaming is looking for. Gabby is offering himself on the silver platter. Remember, no buyback available for him. It's not a question of time, it's a question of money. 1,600 short. But the army of the dead move forward and they need to do something about this. VG showing their position. Smoke or no smoke. Very obvious what's happening.
10 seconds left on that smoke. Roche still not alive. Lanes are in good position for Vici right now. Even though top lane is going to push out since they have super creeps.
Well, they're not dealing with an Nature's Prophet who's going to jump in the back lines. TNC's not that maneuverable. TNC's actually been using Ice Blast to keep that bottom lane pushed out. Because it's the one lane they can't really move to. The bottom lane's so far away from Roshan for Radiant. The second you put someone down there, unless they got BTs, they're not coming back to the fight.
This is going to be a problem. Once Wraith King hits level 25 and has a full Abyssal Blade, it's going to be a lot of stuns.
Well, there's a Ray Fire Blast.
They need to protect Medusa at all costs.
This is just like so classic. We're going to put one person as bait on the front lines. Who would like to jump forward? No one. Because no one wants these targets. The bottom lane is still continuously being pressured. All right, smoke up from TNC. They've had enough of this. They know there's dire vision. They know they need to jump somewhere. Ice Blast needs to connect on Yang to find the kill. They're actually looking for something in the back lines. They'll fly right over the top of everybody.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to hit it. If it just passes by, they're still going to get the effect. That's going to be Aghanim Scepter, sadly for Vici Gaming. I think
you think they'll take
Refresher. I'm just theory crafting, Toby.
Okay. Well, Exorcism grants haste. It's not like he needs more damage, it seems, with the +8 spirits. So he just wants the movement speed onto that Death Prophet. Roshan becomes just an absolute nightmare to go into. TNC can't fight in the clustered area, because if they do that, then Sven's just going to cleave him down. So at this point, do you actually just say, we'll keep an eye on Roshan, but we'll never take Roshan?
Look at the minimap. The orange dots moving around, pushing the waves, clearing the jungle camps.
Thanks, Wraith King. Okay, so the strength is up. AC is completed now over on Sven. And well as a refresher orb that got done on Death Prophet. So it's not as dangerous now for VG Gaming to preemptively pop Exorcism, because they have a chance to get a second one off. Actually makes the Aegis Immortal a little bit more useful. VG's coming over. They're trying to get rid of the vision that TNC planted down. And Yang, for the first time, feeling confident about getting hit by one Mystic Snake, loses 50%.
Top lane once again approaching. This top lane is a problem for them. Also, Skeletons will push the bottom lane. It doesn't even look like a base. It looks like someone just bit off a huge part of it.
That's a nice grab for Paparazzi. And yeah, Ori taking care of the wave. Reveals himself to do so, bottom lane as well. And maybe that's when TNC just jumps in. Like either for a gank in mid, when someone reveals themselves on bottom, because they know they can only be like 3 heroes after you had the DP show on top. So Gabby, yeah, you see him now posturing over the other way. They need to do the counter T-ward that VG Gaming did previously. Gabby still stands as the Night Watchman. Jumps in. Able to connect on the stun. Here comes your Ice Blast. A little bit further at the back. You'll still be able to get the chill effect over on the Centaur, but Yang just tanks through it. You can summon the army of the dead, but Ori into the back lines. Ancient Apparition is going to TP out, but no, the Yulsef will end up canceling this. But with that split damage, Armel kills off the Centaur. Turns his attention towards slowing up Paparazzi, but that's why they jump in. A quick Hellfire Blast from Fade, but a 4-staff moves him from one hill to the next. And Ori, they just want to disengage right now. TNC, the Fissure, cutting the mid lane. Tim just keeps him out, but Ori, he's going to refresher off and go once again under the cover of the BKB. He still has Exorcism available. Fade, what a huge silence. They just hold them there, but the split shot damage. You've got enough, or do you? The Doozer can't continue to hit. Gabby needs to back off. He's got Reincarnation. He just wants to kill off this damn Ori, and maybe with the Abyssal Blaze done, he can just switch targets. That's better. Working with Tims, they bring down Paparazzi. Dead for 2 minutes, but Ori, he's going 1v4 under the tier 3 towers. The Gal can hit. Remember, he's got that high movement speed. Tims has to keep him controlled, and they're gonna bring him down. 2 heroes dead for so long. How much damage can TNC do during this time of no Sven and no DP?
And creeps are in their base, which means this is pretty much safe Roche for TNC. What a godlike block from Earthshaker there. He blocked the whole team off. DP was caught in a bad position. He was forced to use a refresher to refresh the BKB, and then, like, you need to go all in. You can't just go back right after that.
Oh, yeah.
And Sven popped the BKB right away, try to go on Medusa. She uses her ulti. His BKB duration is gone, and then he's just gonna get kited.
That's just wonderful, wonderful target selection from TNC. Changing mid-fight as well. Whoever the shot caller is, they're working it out perfectly. And with this Roshan, things are going to get even stronger.
Now, since the Keen joined, TNC seems so much more disciplined.
Yep. So the Aghanims upgrade. Was it Tim's that actually took that one? It's in his backpack at the moment. And I think he just... all right, so it's Venomancer. The Venomancer Ags upgrade.
Not bad. That Venomancer is also extremely farmed. With that E-Blade, he's almost level 25. That's going to hurt a lot. So DP still has no buyback. They need 100 gold. Bounty runes are spawning in a minute. So that's a shame. This is going to be mega creeps for sure.
Jumps in instantly. They're looking for that quick pick off. The Rubik is a good one to claim it on. And the Ice Blast will ensure it, but no, 4-staff and a blink away. Fake gets the distance. But the Army of the Dead is just ripping apart the base. They have to fortify VG Gaming. 10 seconds before Paparazzi is back to the world of the living. But the Dead await him. DY, what have you got? Another quick silence from Ori, trying to keep that control up. You do have that reincarnation, so even if they do find the kill over on Wraith King, it's just buying more space for Armel and his Lucius to move forward. That's why Paparazzi needs to clean them up.
Paparazzi can't move. Look at his move speed.
I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't.
So they still have 1 melee Rax left on the bottom. Bottom lane is pushing for VG Gaming. Someone needs to TP there and clean it up.
Money, money, money. Money. 4 50-minute bounty runes.
Oh, the dream. Double damage and arcane rune.
Kuku will take the arcane. So all that needs to happen from TNC is vision superiority over the bottom lane and push as one. Like, this is Spartan time. An Aghanim Scepter build coming in from Gabby. Yeah, let's have more heroes from TNC that can survive death. He can actually buy the entire thing right now if he wants to. And I see a Rapier being queued up for the Doosa.
She doesn't necessarily need to go.
Yes, he really doesn't.
For that Rapier, but...
That feels very risky.
Even if Sven picks it up, I don't think Sven is a problem at this point because they can just kite.
Well, that courier's flying over the shop, so I'm just keeping a weathered eye on the courier's horizon. Ori jumps to the front lines. That creep wave just gets nuked so quickly. And here we go again. Let the army move forward. Fade hangs in the trees. Your setup begins over on the Dusa. Remember, you have the extra life. 2 minutes left on the Aegis Immortal. It's a good Ice Blast. Connecting on Ori as well as Yang. And the DP, well, she tries to actually battle the Dusa, but the issue is over on the side where DY is barely alive. He'll get the Global Silence off, but the bigger initiation hit the back lines from Tims. Of course it did. Ori has all the high movement speed that comes from that ultimate. Fade tries to return the Nova, but hits an absolutely no one. They're all out of range. And Wraith King just stays with Paparazzi. They want to kite him, they want to control him. And he has no movement speed when he actually dies, like when the Wraith King dies. The Fissure lands the stun, splits the team fight. Gabby's in a little bit too deep, he'll end up going down. Buybacks available, he's not going to commit it just yet. They have got the Mega Creeps, and now it looks like TNC just want to get the hell out of here. Dusa may not have that chance. She has the Aegis Immortal, so she'll end up living to fight another day as she buybacks.
Catapults
with the
are hitting
TPs
the
coming
drone.
forward. Gabby is ready to move forward as Ori. He's running out of time, and he's very isolated from the rest of his team, so Paparazzi, you'll stun him up, you'll let the illusions do the work as Paparazzi now basically moonwalks on the spot. That's just his movement speed. The Fidget control is there. Yang can't get in. He's trying to move in to help out with no Sven, with no Yang. The Centaur can't move. He's dead for 2 minutes. Tims is just styling on Ori. He kept her control totally, and they get the GG out. TNC win game 1. They are such a good team.
Man, TNC's performance throughout this major